Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
You text me then I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. You know. 205-964-5243. You know.
Yo, what's happening? Renika, just wave your hand whenever you're ready. I'm going ahead and starting show number 194. I think she can hear me, but you ready? We're live. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're live. All right, so Adrian's not here, so they can look at you. They don't have to see me. Yeah, it's Instagram, TikTok. She's coming on Instagram, TikTok. So you're just gonna look at the board or whatever, and we'll answer some questions from you all also. But this is show number 194 of this week's Flippinar, where we answer your questions about real estate investing with a strong emphasis on wholesaling real estate, which is the method of real estate investing where your cash or credit does not matter. You can make a whole lot of money in the process. And we like to share a lot of other things at the same time. So how's it going, Renikia?
It's going good. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm super tight. Long week so far, but
Okay.
I'm in here like a trooper.
Right.
I went to Minneapolis Sunday, scheduled to come back on Wednesday, so I had a connecting flight from Minneapolis to Chicago. Got there at about noon on yesterday. The flight time changed 8 times. And then I'm sitting there, I was patient or whatever, we 8 hours in, 7 hours, 6 hours in. They said we're going to leave at 6 something. So I had my earphones on. I had my Prime Video going. I was all locked into this show that I found and stuff. And I thought they said Tyrone Taylor over there in the concert. I said, that can't be me. And I know I'm not the only person named that. All these people in this airport, that must be somebody else.
So your name on the intercom.
So anyway, about 8 o'clock, I go up to the one of the people at Southwest and asked a question. Said, well, what's the deal with Birmingham? Y'all keep changing it. She said, Birmingham left about an hour ago.
Oh my.
I said, what? She said, what's your name?
Sorry, though.
Yeah, she's like, what's your name? I was like, Tyrone Taylor. She said, I called you over the intercom.
So you heard your name and just assumed it wasn't you?
I vaguely heard. I'm like, it was like one of those things like, I know they ain't just somebody just didn't call my name. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, so I said, wow. So y'all I already knew. Y'all got any more flights going to Birmingham? It was like, no, not tonight.
Oh my.
It was 8 o'clock. So she said, I'll put you, let me go ahead and look and see what we got tomorrow. She said, I'll put you on we only got one flight going out at 2:35 tomorrow.
Oh my.
I said, hey, huh? I said, so I said, go ahead and book it. So I'll go ahead and book it, whether you take it or not. So I immediately got on my phone. I said, this is why I work so hard in these situations like, yeah. So people, this is, everybody got their wow while they make money, right?
Right.
This is Tyrone Taylor. They call me over the mic. Reason I make money. That if I don't do something, it's not because of money.
Right.
It was no hesitation to go. As a matter of fact, let me tell you what I did. This how I did. Immediately, I ain't do too much researching. I saw that American Airlines was going to. I just got to tell this story. I know this, but it's part of it, whatever. So, American Airlines had a flight going out at 11 today, 11:35, something like 11:45, something like that. So I just immediately booked that. I thought that was the earliest or whatever. And so then I had to get a hotel for last night. So when I started searching for a hotel, and I went back up there to ask the lady at the counter, she said, "Well, you're in." I said, "I somewhere safe. I don't know nothing about Chicago." Blah blah blah. She said, "Well, just
Oh,
go
you
to
got the shot town.
go to the Midway Center. Blah blah blah. And, you'll be okay." And so I found a Marriott there and booked a room. And then I started looking back at my reservation for the flight, and I kept seeing the code ORD or OHD or whatever it meant, O'Hare. But I was at Midway International.
Oh, so you had the wrong.
Yeah, so I'm like, no, I can't do that. I said no. So I searched again and seen what a flight. So it was one leaving at 6 a.m. on Delta, going to Birmingham. I had to stop in Atlanta, of course. Everything goes, if it's on Delta, it's gonna always stop in Atlanta. You come to Birmingham, always. So anyway, and so I bought 2 tickets. So I really had 3 flights today.
Oh, you gonna make sure you're gonna get home today.
Oh,
You're gonna get home by any means necessary.
So I made it. I made it home. Adrian just made it. Thank God. Thank
So
God.
sorry.
Huh?
So you said that you sat there and watched everybody get on the plane?
I wasn't paying attention, like, cause they were all lined up. I normally let me change my.
That's a lot. That's a lot to do.
Yeah.
That's a
So
lot.
I really just wasn't paying attention because it said 6:20. I kept getting alerts on my phone, and it said 6:20. I ain't even got the thing set up. It said 6:20 on my phone, and so I just assumed they were gonna send another alert or something changed. But when 6:20 came by, I said, "Oh my God, they're gonna change it again." And so that never happened. Then I was sitting by this annoying group of people. They were just running their mouth. I hope they're not on the plane I'm on. And that's what I get. No, they was not on the plane I was on because my plane was gone. No, that's what I get.
That's sitting in the airport waiting for a flight that had already left.
Hey, they actually waiting on the flight. My flight had already left. So anyway, I had 3 flights going out of Chicago today. With 3 different airlines.
Hey, you gonna make it back to me.
One of them free, 2 of them, well, it wasn't free, I paid for, but free instead they won't try me again. And 2 of them I paid for, but I canceled the American line. They're not gonna give my money back. They can give a credit for later if you want to use it. So so I got back in the ham at 9 something today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dirty.
Oh, we got AP here. She ready to make this show a thing.
Yeah,
well, we had a little story time.
Huh?
I was telling Adrian had a little story time.
I see. Huh. So I messed this up so bad.
Perfect segue. Perfect time.
It's great,
Okay, all right, yeah.
but I messed it up.
What did you say?
I put it on upside down. Like the small square is supposed to be here, and the big square there. So
Oh no, that's fine. Ain't no
I
big
had to
deal.
try to fix it.
That's no big deal. Yeah.
You know what?
I'm sorry. But yeah. So go ahead, do your thing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We ready?
Yeah. Well, we live.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I said, "I'm tell you about a shirt messed up." We live, man. Shoot.
Oh wow! So wait, they can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead. Do your thing. Go ahead.
I can't even breathe.
Hold on. Let me see.
I'm sorry, guys.
Okay. I just wanted to send that. So, okay, boom. All right. Go ahead.
All right. Take it away. Hey, Brittany, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Ooh, sorry, Tawana. Yeah. Taylor Woods. I see y'all can hear me. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna jump right into this thing. I don't know what questions have or have not been answered. Sorry. None. Okay. So I'm late. Hey, Roby, happy birthday. You have a birthday tomorrow. So let's go ahead. Josh Weiser. So I had to cancel my contract. I had it too high. I talked with the title company, but the seller won't sign a termination agreement. What should I do?
They won't sign a termination. Are you past your due diligence period? Are you past your due diligence period? Because if you are past your due diligence period, they don't have. I mean, eventually they will sign a termination, but you will you have the possibility that you will forfeit your earnest money if you have it.
Okay. So what's the most he would lose? He would just lose his earnest money, right?
Mm-hmm. He loses earnest money.
Yeah, and that's it. Okay, Josh, hopefully you got that there. Jason, what's up? Judah, what's up? Drew, what's up? Have we heard anything about wholesaling needing the license in Ohio?
I have, but it don't mean it ain't so.
Okay, so that would be something probably really you're able to Google. We're not knowledgeable on that as of right now. Hey guys, just keep in mind on that screen there, if you want to join us live and ask your question yourself, just text the word Gator to the number 205-964-5243, and you can join us live tonight. Yes, it is like our own little group chat, our own little family. That's right. So what is, okay, I don't know, Judah. What is daisy chaining? Did you say that?
Oh, Lord.
Well,
When I first got in the game, it was a whole lot of daisy chaining. Daisy chaining when there are just a whole bunch of people in the middle, and you think you know it's just a lot of people in the middle where you almost never get to the person who's really selling the asset. So it ended up being a wholesaler, wholesaling a wholesaler, wholesaling a wholesaler, wholesaling a wholesaler deal. So it gets to a point where it just gets too convoluted, where you can't get to the closing table because it's almost impossible to really get to the person who's really selling the property. What are your opinions?
yeah, that's it. It's so many. It's being shopped around so much that you don't even you don't know. Now I had to learn that the hard way years ago. That's why a lot of times when people hit me up, say, "Well, I'm dealing with another wholesaler." That's fine, but I'm a wholesaler, so now we got 3 people involved. You know what I'm saying? And they don't really know them. There's, you know, so no, I'm just not gonna just deal with those because we really don't know if that wholesaler's deal.
Right.
So
Gotcha.
You see a lot of that when you do like out of state, a lot of out of state virtual wholesaling. You'll catch probably a lot of that daisy chain stuff. Well,
Okay. Thank you for answering that. But the next follow-up question from Judah was, is it illegal? So there's not necessarily anything illegal. It's just a lot of
illegal, you know, it's just a mess.
it's a mess.
You know,
It's a hot mess.
hard to get
Exactly.
paid off of it.
It is a mess. That's exactly what it is. It's not illegal. You can 100 people can sign a contract to 100 other people. There's nothing illegal about that. It's just too messy. Yeah.
Marquez Smith says, so I got this buyer that owns Airbnb properties, okay? I'm wholesaling the deal, but this buyer tells me that they have never had a closing. They only went through the deed companies. Isn't that the same as a title company?
What state is this? There may be a process in their state that we're not familiar with. What state is that?
Okay.
I've never heard of a deed company.
And I never heard of a deed company either. Unless they talking about tax deeds, and so they buying tax deeds. I don't know, but I heard of a deed company.
Okay. Just letting you know, Font Leroy on Instagram says, hit him up next time he works for Delta. He got you.
I don't like buddy passes.
Don't buddy pass me. I don't care. I will pay for every flight. Buddy passes have you late for no reason.
Oh yeah.
Buddy passes have you praying you get on somebody's flight.
I got another story if y'all want to hear it about a buddy pass.
The buddy passes. Hey buddy, all right. Yeah, you buddy for real.
I'm not interested to know.
I see you assuming, what if it wasn't buddy?
That's funny.
You assuming, what if it wasn't a buddy?
What else can he offer me? Are you gonna pay for it? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What else can he offer me? They're going to give paying customers preference first.
Yeah.
Okay.
And all of these planes are full now. Like,
Yeah.
when the planes are full coming to Birmingham, Alabama, I know they full everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Birmingham,
Yes.
I got you. Mikey Bands, I see that you're down in my little chat box there. As soon as I see your face, make sure you turn on your mic and turn your video on. I'll bring you on live with us, Mikey Bands, if you can hear me. So Al Wim says, hello, everyone. Just wanted to know, for your real POF, is it going to increase as well? Because I've seen something with the person who created it increasing the price of it. So it very well could be. You just have to
Oh,
check it out.
I don't think I've been dealing with it for years. It's always hovered around $1 million. So whether it's a price increase or not, and they have increased since I've been dealing with it, that it hadn't increased.
Okay. From TikTok, is there a way to comp in Texas other than the MLS since it's a non-disclosure state?
Prop stream, get you later. It pulled up that information.
Okay. There you have
GetYouLater.com.
Okay, let's see here. Let's do a tick. Okay. Mr. Medina, in a tough and expensive market, the only positive person, and after 1 week of starting, I landed a deal and closed last week. I JV'd with someone and it worked well from us. Okay. No one's saying JVing is a bad thing.
We didn't say that.
Absolutely not. So
The largest outfit that does that, that's mainly what they do is JV,
Right.
but not with 20 people in between you and the seller. That's
Right.
what they asked us ask a specific question about daisy chain. We were just trying to define what that is.
Which is different from a JV.
Okay. So William Hill has a good question. He says, do you guys use Fiverr or Upwork services to find people to take pictures of homes when virtual wholesaling?
I've never used that service to do
Interesting.
that. Craigslist in the gig section, but I've never actually used Fiverr. I normally use Fiverr for different things.
Right.
Like
I never use Fiverr for that reason, but I mean, if it's out there, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And someone you can get someone on Fiverr to go take some pictures for you. I think it's pretty cool.
Someone made a great suggestion on one of my daily lives when they were going, formerly known as the daily lives. That so ask the seller. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just ask them.
Take some pictures.
Yeah. I said, oh, that's brilliant.
Can you take a picture of your house for me and send it
Well,
to
you
me?
trying to sell it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should already have it readily available.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and ask Mikey Ben's question. Should I have a cash buyer do the inspection before or after the signature of contract, and why?
What do you mean inspection? What
I don't
does it
know.
mean?
Should I have a cash buyer do an inspection before or after the signature of contract, and why?
Well,
It'll
I'll say
vary.
this, before you control the asset, you may not want to market it to people who can really purchase the asset. So you want to, possibly you want to get it under contract before you kind of bridge those gaps where they are actually pulling up to the house and things of that nature. Now, one of the things that I would do is just take really thorough pictures. So prior to me putting on the contract, I'd send over my pictures, my videos, and things of that nature so they can see it. They can see it, and then we can schedule something once I have it under contract. Because what you do if you don't have it under contract and they happen to meet the homeowner, anything can happen in that scenario, and they can go around you. You don't own it, you don't control it nor own it, and in that scenario, your seller or your cash buyer could possibly go around you if they about that life. What do you think?
Yeah. He's asking. He's asking about what he's asking about the cash buyer doing an inspection.
Should they allow a cash buyer to inspect the property before they contract it?
That'll vary. Like you say, that it just depends who you're dealing with or whatever. That's why photos, videos are important to try to remove some of that. They still gonna want to see it, whatever. But you try to, some people, oh, I'm not interested in that. Then some people gonna be more interested in it because they've seen how it looks or whatever. So.
Okay. I've read Mr. Medina's question earlier, but I missed the first part of it. It was a two-part. So let me go back and redo it the right way. So it was, Mr. Flipman just wanted to say thank you. I asked several people about me wholesaling in Southern California and it being a tough market. And you were the only one that said I was fortunate for being in a tough and expensive market. So you were the only positive person. And after 1 week of starting, I landed a deal and closed last week. I JV'd with someone and it worked well for us. That was how that went.
Oh, that was why
My
you
bad.
ain't part of the question, man.
Because I didn't
Okay,
realize
well,
that was you know
we done jumped to a whole conclusion.
Hey,
what? Two sections.
so yeah, man, you in Southern California, aka LA. Come
Right.
on, man.
The values are there, the money
Oh,
there.
15.
I think wholesaling should be very easy in California.
Oh my God. All those people, man, they got problems, man. You got
Right.
motivated
And it's
sellers.
just expensive market. People are
Yeah.
losing.
People still get divorced there. I don't know why I'm the only one positive. Whoever
I mean, I think the negativity come from like trying to flip and stuff like that because it's so expensive. But if the numbers still work and you can afford just a higher mortgage or a higher, monthly payment, it still works.
I don't know who gave him negative feedback when he asked that question. You should not listen. Delete all of those individuals' phone numbers. But if they told you couldn't do this business in Southern California with millions of people, meaning there are millions of people that are, well, not millions, but thousands of people that are dying, thousands that are getting divorced, thousands, hundreds of thousands of tired landlords, just endless, just life. Life creates motivated sellers. As a wholesaler, as a real estate investor, your job is to sniff those property owners out that are motivated to sell. It's called marketing and advertising, networking, all that, well, same thing. So do your job.
All right. Thank you for answering that. This is from TikTok from Mike J _29th Street. Can you wholesale properties with realtors the same way you do with an actual owner?
Well, just think about it. You got one person, another person added to the equation. No, you can do it, but it ain't gonna be the same. You got somebody else that has an influence within the transaction. A realtor, they make money on commission. The more the house sells for, the more they make. The cheaper you get the house, the more you make. You're automatically from the beginning at a resistance. Again, it can be done. I'm just answering the question. No, you always want to deal directly with the decision maker and not a gatekeeper if possible. You're already going to be a gatekeeper. So you're going to add another gatekeeper? Technically, we're gatekeepers. Cash buyer, us, seller. We're a gatekeeper. But again, it can be done. I'm just telling you it's more difficult, generally speaking.
Few more moving parts with realtors. And they're the one that's knowledgeable. A lot of times, and I hate to say it like this, but a lot of times sellers are not that knowledgeable about, what their property is really worth, how much they can really flip it out for, and things of that nature. So realtor just bring that extra voice of reasoning to them. So it's just gonna cost you to have to, jump through a few more loops when you're dealing with a realtor. And then you got to also understand that it's public records. I don't know a buyer that will buy without at least Googling the address and doing some type of due diligence. And when they Google that address and see that public record listing out there at a price that's probably lower than your price, and you're going to come into that situation. So just a lot more moving parts when you're dealing with that.
Okay. Let's see here. So Tori, you have a question. What is a lease option? The person before me has a house with the FSBO. What does that mean? So you're asking questions about questions within the chat. So FSBO, for sale by owner. It's just going to be a home that is going to have those red and white signs in the yard. Home for sale. That's typically the owner, selling the home for themselves. No realtor is typically included in that. You can most definitely go for those. That could be a deal in the wait. Your next question was, what is a lease option? And just going to Google, a lease option is an agreement that gives a renter a choice to purchase the rented property during or at the end of the rental period.
Use that Google, girl.
Yeah.
Do it. Use that Google, girl. They don't do the same thing. Use that Google, girl.
So lease option, better known as rent to own. Rent to own is going to be a better term that you're probably more familiar with. It's going to be the same thing for that. Hopefully that answered your question now. Boom! Adrian answered the question tonight. Damn. You know what? Let me have it. Let me have it. Okay, so Rosa Guevara says, I'm trying to do my first wholesale deal and investors are paying over market price. That sounds like a good thing. How can new investors compete with these big sharks?
Mhm. Well, retail buyers are definitely paying on price. Retail buyers are definitely paying on price. I mean, I don't think you can compete with someone who's willing to pay over price. I mean, that's just not your deal. You know, I don't think we can really compete with these people that's willing to pay over price because as an investor, the numbers is such a big part of how we make money. If we overpay for something, we're probably gonna be out of the money. So it's no longer even a great deal at that point, you know. So I would just say this: focus on your numbers. When you know, there's no need for us to jump overpaying for something when it puts us out of the money and lower our profits. So at that point, you just got to let that deal go because it's no longer make financial sense for you to invest into the asset. But if overpaying a little bit still makes you money, then you may have to become a shark yourself and overpay a little bit because you're still in the green. You're still going to make money. So I would say just run the numbers and focus in on what works for you, no matter what the sharks are doing. What do you say?
You know, see, it sounds like they're just looking at what they see online and stuff, and that's what they're competing for, right? We don't compete for those deals anyway,
Right.
hot market or not. That's just not what we do. It's possible. I have to always, but I try to give newbies, because most people here are new, basically, right? We agree with that. I try to give them the easiest way to do this, and that ain't one of them. Competing what you see online, right? That's the only thing they could be referring to,
Right.
because most of the deals that we're talking about, Renikia, is the only person that's talking to them about buying it is you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're doing what you're supposed to do marketing, while not saying you're the only game in town, you may strike their interest into calling somebody else or whatever. A lot of times you're the only person talking to them about selling. So you're not competing against a shark, as they say. You're talking about the problems you see advertised online. Yeah, that's a whole nother ball game. In any market, in any time frame, we don't compete for those. That's why you always hear me say off market, off market. Maybe y'all don't know what that means. Maybe I'm not doing a good job of explaining that. As far as my definition, if you can find it for sale on the internet, it is not off market.
Off market. Off market is ungoogleable. It is ungoogleable. You Google it and know it ain't for sale by owner. It is an address and a Google Map picture. But that's so true, Ty. Yeah, that's so true. I mean, and that's really what makes a successful wholesaler and a wholesaler transaction is that you're not going out there looking for the low hanging fruit. You're going out there looking for the house that no one even knows for sale. And that's how you're able to really control that property.
It's not even for sale until either they saw a message of yours or received a message from you.
All right. They don't even know they're trying to sell it.
They didn't even know they were trying to sell it. You know what I'm saying? That's the way to explain it. They didn't even know they were trying to sell it.
That's funny. Exactly, though.
All right. Honey2944 says, I came across the ad a few hours ago. I tried to sign up for the bonus deal, but clicked off by accident. I can't find out how to get back to it. So how will she get back to it? You got a text number?
Just text me and just text me on the number now. I'll explain. But you're really just gonna email support and explain what happened. So support at flipmasterclass.com, but just text me on the number here and I'll send you the email address.
All right, honey. I hope you copy that. Just text that number, which is 205-964-5243. She saw it. Boom. Okay. So Nikia, the next question comes from Jason Johnson. He says he has 2 deals in play right now, but one is with a realtor who he didn't know was a realtor until they mentioned him using a TREC contract. How do I get around this? I'm a newbie wholesaler. And maybe I'm saying it says TREC contract.
Yeah, Texas Real Estate Contract. I think that's what that means.
TREC.
Yeah.
It's probably a realtor contract for his state.
Texas.
So there's no getting
Probably
around
Texas.
it, is there?
I think that's what it's called in Texas, a TREC.
He says those are the ones that you run across while shopping or jogging. That's off market. Oh yeah. That was. I thought you were adding on to your question, but yeah, he wants to know how does he get around the realtor and the TREC contract.
None. You can't. They're not going to do business with you if they can't use that contract. Period.
Right. You can't. When a realtor is involved, they have to use their contract. They can't even use an off-market contract when a realtor is involved. So you really can't.
It'll be a deal breaker. Move on.
Right. And you may want to read through it and see if that contract is signable. And if it is, just do what you got to do and assign your contract with your third party and your personal contract if that contract is assignable. So you may want to just kind of read through their contract, and if it's assignable, then just assign it and using your contract. But you're gonna have to double close it properly.
I like to be positive, but I think I come off a lot of times negative about certain topics. My man in California said I was positive, so there we go.
But no, I mean, people don't understand that route. It's just a lot of moving parts. So
Yes.
I understand what you said when you said it. Why travel the road that has a lot of restriction? Why, when there's a road where, it's just easier, when you're a
bridge is out.
Right. Huh?
The bridge is out. The
bridge out, you gotta climb something, you gotta rope something. It's a lot. You gotta put a parachute on, you gotta hope you get it to the other side. It's a lot. So what we're trying to do is put you in position to go on the road that is just easier, so, but if you do come up past that, because you will, just know how to handle that. Most likely you may have to double close it. You need to check and see if that original realtor contract is assignable. So all those little moving parts right there.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll just go through it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you're dealing with a real estate agent. So here's what you should expect. See, when they even ask that question, let me just say this first. I'm gonna tell you what to do. When they even ask that question, they present this contract. What should I do? Move on, because you ain't even close to knowing what to do. You gotta ask that question.
You gotta be able to get gated in situations like this.
Move on. But anyway, so they're gonna use their contract. In most cases, they're gonna want a minimum of $1,000. It is negotiable. You may be able to get away with $500. If that's not a problem for you, boom, step one, you got it.
Right.
Next, they're gonna want proof of funds that you can pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
If you can jump across that hurdle, boom. Next, it's still listed online. A lot of times the real estate agents are lazy and they don't pull listings down or leave it pending or contingent or whatever. None in your favor. Let me just say that, right? Because that listing technically is still there, which gives potential cash buyers an opportunity to call them, even if you have it on the contract. Yeah, you still are in the deal, but they can still blow your deal up. They're not trying to steal it. A lot of times they'd be like, well, why is this listed for this or this? And it's this or whatever. And so they scroll down on Zillow, see the number listed by.
Right.
They call them.
What is that?
Well, I'm dealing with the owner. Why does he have you involved? I'm dealing with the owner.
Right.
No, the owner is such and such. This property is under contract with such. Well, that's who I'm suing. They send that owner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you could jump through all that, right? Now you may have the right type of buyer and they already know what the deal is. Boom, the world is yours.
Right.
The world is yours.
9 times out of 10, the buyer don't know.
So next, now you got to get them where you can show it. Hopefully, the property is vacant, that is in your favor. But if it's not, then the agent is going to want to be there every time it's being shown,
Absolutely.
right? Unless you bring your own agent to the table, which is a possibility.
Yeah.
And then, this. So
Right.
again, if you jump through all those hoops,
Right.
the world is yours.
Mhm.
Hey, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, I just
And
gave
the
you the
biggest
show
move is that
and
conversation.
the flashlight.
Because they will call. They're gonna call that listing agent. There's just no
Yeah.
way. No buyer is just buying it blindly like that. They're gonna at least Google something and all that, and then it's gonna pop up, and they're gonna call that listing agent. It's just that's the right thing to do if you're buying.
Again, this can be done. I like to stress that.
It can be
But it
done.
is more difficult
It is.
because the agent makes money on the more the house sells for.
Right.
Now, again, if you could jump through that hoop and get them to understand, hey, I'm a volume player, I have more deals down the road, bam, you in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or whatever. Again, I'm trying to give you all the
And
solutions.
you have to also put in a contract significantly lower than the
Yes.
listing price,
That's what I'm
and you
saying, yeah.
really can't market more than the listing price.
No. So like if they we just say they got it out there for $250. Yeah, if you get it for $150, oh, you might be in the game.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Hey, you may be in the game or whatever. People don't know my schedule. They should know my schedule.
Right. Well, it is 9, so they was thinking if it was on time.
No. We still got plenty. We normally about 8:15, 8:20. You know what I'm saying?
Ish, remember?
Hey,
Ish.
yeah.
The ish.
Happy on the edge.
We definitely ish today.
Happy on the edge.
Whoa! I'm taking offense now.
So,
No, we had just started.
so yeah, it can be done through realtor. We should just start to show off with the realtor thing every week. We should just start off with the realtor speech. And I have a video on it where I'm
It
telling
really
you
can be done. You just got to control all the moving parts.
you still have to control the deal.
You got to control the deal.
That's what we should say, Renee.
Mm-hmm.
The way wholesale works well for and consistently for wholesalers that are successful, you gotta control that seller side. The buyer side, not so much, but that seller side, you gotta control that side of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
When a real estate agent involved, you lose so much of that in most cases.
Absolutely. I actually have really no control when the real estate agents involved.
'Cause you're not
Let's say
talking
your
to the
friend or
decision maker.
something. I mean, yeah, let's say your friend or something, you have no control of that seller side.
Yeah.
So
And see, again, it's just because I know a lot of newbies watch this stuff. People have never done a deal, or I don't want to discourage you, but you're being, in reality, don't take this the wrong way, you're being lazy because you're just looking for stuff online. We keep telling you those are the harder deals to do. Be done. But that normally comes from people that are highly experienced. They got money. They got proof of funds. They know how to play the game, per se. Yeah. So, but anyway, that's our realtor speech for this week.
Yeah.
Drive carefully.
All right. Woo. There you got it. Cognito Lopez, you have the question of what? Here you go. You ready? What's the best way to calculate the ARV?
Oh, I thought it was another realtor question.
What's the best way to calculate the ARV so you can come up with the legit number for your end cash buyer?
The best way to calculate the ARV?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You got this one of the cards.
Yeah,
This is the first time.
It's a card.
This is the first time for a card today.
Here's the card.
Text the letters ARV. I have a video where I explain how to do it, right? To the phone number, right here. So text ARV, not AVR, ARV, to this right here, and that video will explain. Not cutting you off, but it can explain. It's visual, so it'll show you better than I can tell you right now.
And when you text that ARV, you can also watch previous episodes of Comps 101.
Oh, I think I did that wrong. Is that it? Yeah, no, that's right. No, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, yeah, you got the boy. She got me.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, leave me alone. Okay, Cognito, but yeah, it's on the screen there for you. You can text ARV to that number shown. I have it running across the ticker there. Nobody wants
the calculator calculator.
Yeah,
Have
the
to get
calculator
there.
calculator. Help you.
There we go. Hey, y'all hot now, boy. Hey, text DC to the number, and you get access to the Deal You Later free calculator. Tell you how to deal or not. Let's get it.
Okay, so Queen V has a question. It's in regards to Houston. She says, "I'm in Houston, and houses seem so expensive right now. Even the owners that I find with distressed properties know that their houses are selling far over market value. So it's hard to find motivated sellers."
Trust me, don't do the same thing, right? But hey, when the money get low,
right,
it will show. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Trust me, it'll still happen, right? That timing, yeah. You're not talking to motivated sellers, right? You're just talking to people got a piece of real estate. They don't need to sell it. Just period. You know, if they don't get the price they want, they ain't selling it. They
Right.
don't want to sell it. As far as our definition, let me say that. They own real estate. They don't need the money. Okay, you don't want to give me this? Okay, holler. Okay, I'll holler at you too.
And it's a numbers game. You know, you got to play the power of numbers, especially when you're in a very competitive market like that. If it's that what you stated, you just got to play the power of numbers. It just, the more people you talk to, the more homeowners you talk to, the better chance you strike a deal. You know, and in a market like that, as Ty stated, the follow game.
Oh yeah,
Keep the follow game there, because eventually they will get a little bit more motivated as time goes on. These PPP loans going down. Unemployment
they ain't holding out because they got that bread. Then no, you didn't.
Trust me, these PPP loans that is dwindling down on them. So give them about another 60 days or so.
Sam, knock on that door.
And a lot of homeowners could be stressed right now too, because people have not have to pay their rent for over a year now. So these landlords could be stressed right now. Trying to keep up their properties because their tenants haven't been paying.
And then she's in the 4th or 5th largest populated city in the country.
Right.
See, guys, the cities y'all talking about, they 5, 6, 7 times.
And it's possible to not make money, right?
It just, you're really like on a whole nother planet, right? With that number of people. Well, we'll say a country. There's a whole nother country with that many accessible real estate owners to you. Right. Keep doing what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing as for how you're generating leads. Even with that, I'm going to always side on doing something. But the deals are there. In Houston, Texas, the deals are there to be had.
Right. Absolutely.
You're so fortunate. You are so fortunate to be in a market of that size. What you said, Gia?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
So Tyreek says, Splitman, I need to find cash buyers for my wholesale deals. What's the best way to add cash buyers to my email list? Boom! Word cash. Cash to 205-964.
Boy, you hot, boy. Hey, are you doing this on purpose? Boy, you hot, boy.
I am. What? Yeah, I know what I'm supposed to be doing over here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't know what I'm doing up here.
I know my role. Tyreek, it is ticking across the bottom of the screen if you can see that there.
Yeah, I'm holding it up. Yeah, you got to tick across the screen. I'm holding it up.
But it's also ticking across the screen.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm just saying. Okay, so
well, she's producing over here.
Yes.
Hey.
Doing something. doing something. So back to the JV thing. This is from Jerry L. Renikia. If I JV with someone, does both of our names go on the seller and buyer's contract, or can I just close it myself and pay them after I receive the funds from escrow? Now that sounds good when you're on this side, but if you were on the other side, would you trust that? I guess would be the question. Do you trust this person well enough for them to pay you after they leave the table, or do they trust you well enough to pay them after you leave the table?
I done seen both sides, and it can get real messy. It can get real messy. It can get real messy. Me personally, I'm always going to side with the person that's signing off on the contract. I'm always going to be the one that signed off on the contract. So, but it's negotiable. How you all want to come in and co-wholesale, you can all, it could be one company or whatever the case may be. You all can draw some closing documents up that you can send to the attorney so they know how to split funds at the closing table. Both of y'all names can go on there. It really varies, but easier if you all are concerned, like Adrian stated, and getting paid and stuff like that, you might want to just go on the contract so your name can go on the HUD and you're not looking for your check at the end of the day. But both works, What do you think, Tom?
Oh yeah, both work. Like I say, I just depend on what side of you. Yeah, but both work.
Real messy. Real messy. I say make sure you get that together before checks are cut, though. Don't be trying to get that stuff together after checks that got cut. You want to have that conversation before y'all get to the closing table. Because people forget that, y'all agreed to 10, they send you 5, so you just want to make sure. They want to make sure everything is in writing and, y'all on the same page.
Now there I am knocking on your door.
Yeah. You know what? I guess it just depends on what how bad you need the money and stuff. That factor in your mindset. Well, some people it won't even matter. Let me back up. For me, for somebody to do something like that, thank you.
Thank you.
I know I ain't never got to deal with
I agree.
with your I ain't never got to deal with you no more. You just thank you.
I agree. It's just like that in this business. This business, we're cutthroat. Yeah. When someone do some bad business like that, it travels fast, and you instantly don't want to do business with them. It is just like that. I agree.
Ty, I have several individuals in this chat on TikTok, Instagram that says they're new here. How do I get started? What do I do? What videos do I watch? Boom. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if I got a card for that. But what? I think Adrian can put it on the screen, but you all on TikTok won't be able to see it. I don't think I have a card for that, but let me see here what I got in my arsenal that making do that. But I don't think I think I dropped the ball on that one. But what? Oh, now they can't do, huh? What's that? Yeah, so text free to this number. Free is spelled FR free. Text the number, text to this number right here, and that'll be the video to get you started.
All right.
There you go.
It's on your screen there too. Boom.
Oh, that girl is bad.
Text
She's
free.
dosing her butt off over here, Renika. Why you get a joke on some tools? Hey, it's go wild.
Doing an amazing job.
Tanya says a playlist. Yes, there is a playlist where a gentleman put the videos.
Yeah, on Flippinar.com. On Flippinar.com.
Yeah.
I ain't got that.
Yeah, so you can go.
I need some more cards.
Yeah, you need some more cards. You can go to Flippinar.com, and you're right, Tanya. Tanya's absolutely correct. Someone did take the time and the effort to put the videos in what should be kind of a sequential order of what you need to watch first. But just visit Flippinar.com. That is on the screen as well. If you don't know how to spell it, I think I know how to spell it. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Oh yeah, she spelled it right. She put it on the screen. Flippinar is spelled. It's the word flipper. It's the word flipping, remove the G,
Mhm.
add an AR.com, flippinar.com.
Mhm. Yeah, it's so creative. Yeah, you did it.
Mhm.
You did it. Yeah, you did it.
Seminar, webinar, you get it? You know, Flippinar.
Flippinar.
We're
Yeah,
talking about real estate and flipping, Flippinar.
if you gotta explain it, we don't get it.
Yeah, so
Mhm. It's Adria.
that's what I do.
Yeah, Tanya, but I see. What kind of verbiage needs to be included in contracts with renters in place? So you gotta motivate a seller, but the property is occupied. What goes in there? Are you concerned about it? Is that that's the buyer needs to deal with that?
No, that's a really, really great question, and it does need to go in that contract. Sometimes sometimes I started off in sometimes a seller feel obligated to honor their tenant's contract, but when you sell, the new owner doesn't really have to obligate and continue that contract. They can terminate it and make the move. So if the seller is very concerned about that, the seller will want to write that in the contract to make you obligated to honor the previous contract until it's up. Or if you know that you want to flip that house, rehab it, and flip it, you know you need to vacate and there's a tenant in there. You want to talk to the original owner who has control with that tenant. Let them know, hey, I'm buying it and I'm going to gut it out or whatever, and I'm going to need the tenant to leave. And it's for the seller to kind of prep his own tenant, his or her own tenant, that hey, I'm selling this property, and they're going to want the house vacant once we sell. So it's really up to the seller to kind of let that tenant know what's really going on, so they already know what to expect. But it needs to kind of be in a contract on if you're going to want that tenant to vacate upon closing, what day you want them to vacate. If you're going to honor the tenant's lease agreement, it really do need to somewhat be in that contract. And you don't want, I mean, you have to put yourself in a tenant position. When you want someone knocking on your door and say, I just purchased it, y'all need to move. No, I mean, we humans. So they should be prepped as well that the property is either going to get sold and you want to vacant, are you going to honor it? Like all that should be somewhat written out. What do you think, Tom?
Okay, so to add on to that, Tanya says that the seller has no contract with the tenant. He only asks that they allow them 30 days to move, just courtesy. And because she thinks she's in Georgia, so she's thinking that's maybe like a landlord-tenant law, maybe that you have to give them 30 days. But the seller just wants to, I guess give them a courtesy, like give them at least, you can buy it, but give them 30 days.
And that's it. I mean, the tenant have agreed to. That's what he doesn't mind happening. I would want the seller to kind of let his own tenant know that he's selling the property, and most likely they're gonna need to vacate in 30 days. But at the end of the day, he's already given you permission, and I would just put that in the contract so y'all don't have any issues at the end of the day. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
What? That was the shortest answer you've never had. Yep. That's funny. Tanya, thank you for correcting that. Tanya corrected my name and Tavares corrected Tanya's name. We spell it different. She spells Tanya neat though. I like the way she spells that. That's cute. Okay, so to Tanya and Tavares, hopefully that answered both of you guys' questions. Jay Black, you didn't miss a thing. You can come back and watch this video. It will be posted alive, not posted live, posted again as soon as we get done, and you can come back and watch it. As many times as you like, and continue to post those questions there. Rennie, this question was for you, and Adria is Maury told me what's the best way to calculate. Oh, hold on. Okay, so I have to find it, but the question was in regards to what is needed to get funding for buying and holding or flipping properties through your company. So I'm gonna keep looking for the question, but maybe you can go ahead and just answer that generally for them.
Okay. So thank you for that. That's a great question. So as y'all know that I do own a private lending company. We do lend to real estate investors nationwide. The key about private money versus bank money and just going to the bank and getting a FHA loan or a conventional loan is that we don't need financials. So you don't need tax returns. bank statements, income verification, and you can go and purchase a property to buy and flip, buy and rehab, purchase a property, buy and home. We have 30-year buy and hold notes, just like we went to the bank and got a mortgage. It's a 30-year note that goes into your business name and not your personal name. So it still leaves your personal credit intact. So you can still go to the bank and take advantage of any of the bank products because all the private loans goes into your business name and on your business credit. It doesn't show up on your personal credit. You don't take DTI in consideration. We're not calling your employer, checking if you got a job, if you can pay for the asset. Strictly asset-based lending. Lend based on the asset up to 90% of the purchase, 100% of your rehab, or if you want to build a portfolio or start buying rental properties, we lend up to 80% of the purchase price. Now, if you're interested in any of those loan products, just go to fundmynextdeal.com.
Boom, and it's on the screen. It's on the screen. Fundmynextdeal.com is where you can reach out to Renikia or a member of her staff. I did find the question, Rennie. So now that they know where to go to apply, the question was, Ms. R, is it advisable to apply for financing with you until we get a cash buyer? Although I don't really want to buy and hold or fix and flip. So just in general, would you even suggest that?
Right. And that's the beauty of wholesaling is that you don't need money, you don't need your credit, you don't need, any of those. You need proof of funds depending on who you work with, like a realtor, but you don't need any of that. It's strictly just assigning your contract without the need of buying the property, fixing up the property or anything. So you won't even need me at all if you're waiting on your cash buyer.
All right, there you go, Tanya. Hopefully that answered your question there. And we'll continue with our questions. Rennie, this one's gonna be for you. Because I know you and Ty often y'all have y'all's own methods, means to the madness of this. So the question was, who do I talk to first? Do I talk to sellers first? Do I talk to buyers first? So the ultimate question is, do you go out and find these motivated sellers, or do you begin by building that buyers list and then find sellers that accommodate what your buyers have asked for?
That's a really great question. And I will always side with do both. It's not one over the other that works. But personally, I did more reverse wholesaling, because I don't like stressful stuff. I don't like getting something, hope I find somebody. To me, that was a lot of stress back in the day. So I'd rather go and find the money first. And it's like, okay, cool. You got the money. You got millions of dollars. You're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 4-sided brick homes. I'm going to go find you a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. As soon as I find that, it's already sold to my buyer. So personally, I like reverse wholesaling. I like to go and find a cash buyer first. And then really just almost become their bird dogs. So you go out and find 10, 15 cash buyers and you go start looking for properties that fits their criteria. If they are a real cash buyer, they're going to buy, bring them exactly what they're looking for. So that's what I kind of, I did more of, which was reverse wholesaling. But honestly, both of them works. If a property fell in my lap today, I have plenty of buyers to sell it to. But when I first started, I felt that finding the money first, the cash buyer first, and almost because I was a realtor too. So to me, I was kind of in a realtor mindset when I was thinking like that. But I thought it was easier to find the money first and then go look for the house. I think Ty has his leg too.
Oh no, I've come to your side.
What? What? Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, this in some
both
aspects,
work. I'm just tripping. Both
but,
work. You know what I'm saying? You got to have one without the other. So both work. Definitely. You got an array of buyers that buy a wide range. Yeah.
Okay. McGriff wants you to know, Flip, that the CRM is great so far. It really keeps me organized. Mm-hmm. And if you too want the CRM that Ty promotes, you can text the word CRM, the letters CRM, to the numbers shown on your screen. I didn't put them on the screen, but you know what I'm talking about. Boom is there.
Don't worry.
It's on the screen.
Number.
Shaq Smith, I see you. Eric Carney, I see you. Michael Johnson, thank you for joining us. And Mike says he's from Austin, Texas, and he wants to know what is the best way to make a deal with a motivated seller that you know is going to be a complete tear down.
It still needs to be a deal.
Right, it's numbers, you know. I mean, if it's a motivated seller and their property need to be teared down, I mean, you go in there with facts. You know, you go in there with facts. You've made people understand the problems and the issues that are wrong with their house. You know, because a lot of sellers who really is in tune with their house, they got all types of value in their house. You know, they kids grew up value here, grandma left in the house here. They got all types of value that's not there on this house. So you almost have to go in and educate sellers on why I'm offering this price, because your roof caving in, electrical needs to be replaced, the foundation is caving in that room. So obviously I probably got to, there's probably a whole situation going on in the foundation. So you almost got to go in there and make them feel that their house is just crap. And, in order for me to get this back to a good value, I got to put this amount of money into it. So this would be the best price that I can offer you. So go in there with facts. What do you say?
I agree.
You know what? You and this concur.
What y'all want me to do?
This is not what we're gonna continue to do. Absolutely
My
not.
arm hurt, man. Let me just be transparent. I got to sleep in this shit. I've been acting up recently. Yeah, I'm headed to CVS right now.
Some BioFreeze.
Patch.
BioFreeze has
he's bad.
and it's just good. I prefer BioFreeze.
Really?
It's a Tiger's Mom. Yes, absolutely. This bum knee I got.
I might buy both of them.
Yes, put them both on. Then go right to sleep, smelling like menthol.
That's fine. I'm sleeping by myself.
You'll be breathing real good.
That's fine. I'm all by my lonesome. So today, there it is. So.
Dominique, I see you down there. As soon as you make your video live, if you can do it before we close out for the night, you have just a little while. I would love to get you on so you can ask your question in person. Let's see here. Thank you, Poodawai. Poodawoo says, thank you, God, for you guys. That's so sweet. Benjamin721 says, are the wholesale contracts and subject to contracts one and the same?
Well, a subject to contract, it's not really a subject to contract per se. Right. The purchase and sales agreement is just to initiate whatever transaction is going to take place. And if that's your intent to do a subject to, you just add verbiage and then say that's the intent, what we're going to do. But the actual transaction of, all the paperwork that comes with a subject to is not an act. That's different. That's the transaction. You know what I'm saying? The purchase and sales agreement is just to initiate whatever you're going to do. So don't confuse the two.
Gotcha. Okay, Ty, Karen has a question and she's a woman after your own heart. Here we go.
What she do?
It's about websites. God, no.
Oh.
Okay. I want to build a website for info purposes. What pertinent information should I present on my website? And also, is it good to require visitors to enter their email address?
Yeah, now you can go to y'all seen my little car in the TikToks and Instagram, whatever, and it's iCloseFast.com. You can copy that if you want to or whatever. Obviously, you'll change the phone number, maybe the market and all that. You can use that as a template if you want. Now, I haven't mentioned this because I'm really not sure what I want to do with it. But I've taken the liberty of registering basically any decent sized city cash buyers of. You name the city, I probably got it. Cash buyers of.
Wow.
LA.
Got it.
Cash buyers of Houston.
I know you got Atlanta.
Got it. Well, I got, that too. Got it.
Philadelphia.
So when did you go about all these domains? That was good. When you went and purchased all these domains, that was good.
Yeah, that's just a little hobby of mine. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So, but I made my mind on what I want to do with them. They are for sale or lease.
Right. I like that.
It's going to depend on the city. on how much it is, because some cities are bigger. So, the opportunity, so just hit me up.
I like that.
So, but cash buyers.
Digital real estate, as they call it. Digital real estate.
Oh yeah, digital real estate at its finest, baby. So, but to answer her question, yeah, you can just use that as a template, or my other site, which is cashbuyer.com, cash with a K, and just use that. I'm not saying that those are perfect, but it's a copy them. It's cool.
Okay.
That's what I did.
All right. Cognito, the lady in the pink's name is Renikia. Her name is Renikia. You can follow her across all social media platforms, Renikia William, and also you can go to Fund My Next Deal, which we mentioned earlier. To just go to that website, see what services her company, financial services her company offers, and see if that's anything that interests you. Dominique, you're coming. Come on now, show your face. You got like 3 minutes. Three.
I ain't got that many. My shoulder's killing me.
Okay, well, you got like 30 seconds. Ty, you ain't say nothing about your shirt today. Excuses are what?
I did. Say it.
What is it?
Are expensive.
Ooh, excuses.
All right.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been.
That would have been about how we said it, though, but it's still expensive.
Excuses are expensive, so.
We don't even realize that, but it is.
Oh yeah, they holding you back. Well,
They hold you back.
They got.
It makes you think that you're not even good enough to do what it is that you're trying to do. It's it is. It costs your success. It costs your future.
Yeah.
It costs you your the next level.
Yeah, somebody made a comment on one of the videos I did back. It must have been last year. This guy of the state of Pennsylvania, and they said, well, he had a what did he say? He had an unfair advantage. I think Eric may have worked under somebody that was already wholesaling or something. And my thing, I put the statement on the excuses are expensive. Okay, maybe so. Maybe so. He had a head start because he had someone that could, give him the game. But we know people just bought a course. They had nobody ask. Still had plenty of questions. It exposed me to the business, but I still had plenty of questions. I didn't know what I was doing. So you can't. I have a little patience for that, Renikia.
Right.
I have a little patience.
It's life. It's life. We can't move in life with mediocre mindsets like that. We can't move in life excusing our own ability to do what it is that we know we can do. So at some point in time, you just got to boss up and do what it is that you should be doing. So.
Yeah, we know roadblocks exist for a number of reasons, and a lot of them I don't have to say.
Right.
But that doesn't just because the road, and it ain't fair in a lot of situations, but the road still exists. Your road may be a little difficult, a little bit. You may have to go this way, whereas somebody else go this way. But the end game is still available to you. That's all I need to know. Well, somebody told me one time, is it possible? That's all I need to know. Is it possible? We go from there. Either I can do it or I can't. And move on to something else or whatever. Everything ain't for everybody. Let's be clear on that or whatever. But this person did it. In most cases, they are no smarter than you are. In most cases, they actually did something but were persistent, had a plan, and executed it.
Yeah.
A lot of us, they hear about this wholesaling thing, say go drive for vacant houses. But that's all you've heard in a check. No, it's some more stuff. It's some more stuff to go with this now. Yeah, everybody knows where a vacant house is. That's just going to get. And I play the game. Trust me, I'm decent at it. I know to throw the word out there, vacant, because I know that's relevant to a lot of people, right? To get your attention. Yeah, I know what that is. And then hey, you make this kind of money. Wow, okay, that changed a lot of stuff for me. Or whatever, but they don't want to do the in-between part, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I found this vacant house, what do I do next? Go watch the video. That's what you do next. Forget about that vacant house. If you got to ask that question,
You don't even need to
if
look
you
at the
get
page.
to me, that's going to be like, well, did you educate yourself first? Because normally you wouldn't even be asking this question if, you know what I'm saying? So anyway.
And and if you are asking that question, you got to take notes. Figure out what is the 10-step process. I'm pretty sure Ty got the 5-step, 10-step.
Thousands of steps. I got it
You
all.
know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like write that down so you know. One thing I love about this business is that there's a lot of little moving parts, but honestly, the blueprint is the same. When you're talking wholesaling, the blueprint is the same. Finding a vacant property or finding a property that's significantly below market value, putting on a contract, finding an end buyer, and submitting both of those contracts to the closing attorney and going and getting a check. In between, there's due diligence and things of that nature. But when you understand that that's the foundation and the blueprint to all transactions, learn that. Learn the blueprint. Learn the foundation. And then when you find a house, you go straight to that blueprint what they said to do after I find a house. So you already know. So teach yourself, and write things down, because the more you write it down, you go through these videos, whatever that video is about, you should have a lot of notes in your page or in your book about what that video was about and what it taught you and what you learned, or keywords that you heard that you don't know. Go Google it. So it is excuses. Excuses is expensive.
Oh, they are expensive. Hey, I'll get this sometime. Y'all, you push the button, so even though my arm is hurting, shoulder, whatever it is. Man, I ain't got time for that, man. Just tell me, huh?
And you done put 15 years in.
Huh? I ain't got time for that. Just tell me. I mean, what they saying, they don't have time to go watch video. I can't.
You don't have time to learn.
No, you just when you somebody come at me like that, no, you lost me. So
this is not a get rich quick thing.
Then you have friends of friends or family member friends. They'll have somebody that may be interested. So it's really like two people in between me and that person. And so it's like I've never met them. I'm just giving an example. I've never met the person before, but they want to learn how to do it. And they just want me to have a conversation with them to explain it. If the person that I'm close to told me to do it, I would probably do it.
Right.
But this person is basically protecting me and my time because they are basically telling her like it can't be done, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And so she like, no, you ain't gonna even talk to her. You know what I'm saying? Cause you're not even willing. Number one, you're questioning it, right? Number two, you're not even you say you don't have time to take advantage of all the free content. So no, but like if they asked me to do it, I would do it just because of who the person is or whatever. So, but man,
so the quickest way to get a mentor's attention, don't say stuff like that. Oh, I don't really understand. Can you show me? I mean, you understand how many moving parts? That's a lot of conversations. Yes. A real mentor will chime in when they feel that you have done your job. And I know you've done your job by the questions that you ask. And someone called me the other day and asked me about funding. And I'm like, she was like, I don't know what's going on. Well, ask me questions so you can get clarity. But if you don't even know the question to ask, then you haven't done enough research to even know what you're doing anyway. So do enough research, write your questions down, because when you do your research first and then you ask questions, it clicks better than versus me just telling you a whole bunch of verbiage and jargons that you ain't never really heard of. Is going in one ear out the other anyway. You're not going to retain it like that. You're going to retain it better after you already did your research. And then when I say certain things, you'll remember, oh, I remember that video Todd said about this. Okay, now she just explained it to me thoroughly. So research, write your questions down. So when you do talk to someone like Ty or myself or whoever, you have particularly questions to ask them to gain clarity on your journey. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, because normally we're gonna have them just send you to a video that's anyway. But I've already talked about it. And most topics, and there's a few topics that I get asked a lot of times that I don't have videos on. I need to do it, but and trust me, I get it. Yeah, I'm not up here like, you got stresses of life. This bill ain't being paid. They finna turn your stuff off.
Mhm.
Trust me, Tyrone Taylor know about that.
Right.
I don't know nothing else. You know what I'm saying?
Amen. Amen.
Hey, so I get it. So you want money now. All that stuff we talking, you want some money right today.
Yesterday, like I'm not
it.
selling a house yesterday because this is.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it.
But in most cases, Renika, your situation ain't gonna change.
It's not like that. You may have you got to jump in Uber, Lyft, and get money.
Yeah. It's just too many ways to make that small money. See, and I was thinking about this while I had all that time in the airport yesterday. I said, well, you have a job, because some people say, I'm just gonna quit my job and then start doing that. No.
Ooh.
Unless you got a lot of money saved from,
It's called transition.
No. Look at it as your job is your investor in your new business venture.
I like that. I like that.
That's
I like that a lot.
Hey, they're your investor in your new business venture, right? So, and I sort of got that from, they say you ain't when you use somebody else's stuff, you haven't stolen, you've been expired. So, but I'm gonna reference where I got this somewhat line of thinking from is, I don't know if any of you all watch Snowfall. Great show, one of the best shows on TV.
I do like Snowfall.
And my boy Franklin, the first season, is the little chick that he liked. What her name was, Mel. And he was working in this convenience store. She was like, "Why are you working here?" And stuff. He said to the dude that owned the store would leave him there and let him close and stuff. So basically, he was a manager, and he's only making $3 an hour or whatever. He said he paying me $3 an hour to teach me how to run a business. Right. Mindset, man.
See, that's mindset.
Hey, that's powerful.
But that's good. That's good.
He paid me $3 an hour
mindset
to learn how to run a business.
That's mindset. That's the difference. That's the difference. And that's what we have to learn how to do. Jobs are bridges. Jobs are bridges. I feel like our last generation, they walked that bridge too long. Jobs are bridges, and they should bridge that gap. But, as Todd said, it's not one of the things you just jump off on the cliff and I'm going to become an expert in wholesaling. No, you want to transition yourself before you jump off that job, whatever the case may be. But jobs are bridges. And I say this all the time, from a financial advisor standpoint. I don't think people with jobs understand the position y'all in. Y'all in a better position than people out here fighting for their meal every day and fighting to pay their bills every day. You got guaranteed bills that's going to get paid. So regardless if you close the deal or not, your bill's going to get paid. That's a different level of a real entrepreneur who money is not guaranteed. So understand the position you are in, even on those folks' jobs. So you on their job, utilize that. Utilize the fact that you got a safety net. That's powerful. A lot of real entrepreneurs don't have a safety net. They put it all on the line every day and just pray that everything works out. You utilize that safety net. Utilize the fact that, when you leave off their job, jump on your business. Utilize that safety net while you got it so you can transition better. Because if somebody paying your bills every month, that means the flipping that you do, the wholesaling that you do, you should be able to just stack that. That ain't blow money. That's stack money so I can transition off my job and I can put it into more real estate. So.
Your FFN, your financial freedom number.
Financial freedom number, I like that. No, your FFN.
All right, my shoulder can't take no more.
All right, guys, we're going to close out. Excuses are expensive. You should have no more. Start now. Today is day one, not one day. And know your FFN, and we will see you next week or on the flip side.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
You text me then I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. Now you know. 205-964-5243. Now you know.